Well, hello guys, and welcome back to another video. Uh, I'm Danny, and today I have a guest here. So his name is
Yeah, hello
Collin.
guys.
Hey
Yeah, hello
there.
guys. My name is Colin, like Danny just said. I'm from the Learning History Together YouTube channel, and I'm very delighted to be on here. So yeah, what are we going to do today, Danny?
Yeah, so today we are going to be ranking all the F1 drivers who are on the grid with, well, a substitute here, but that's meant to be Hülkenberg, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose.
So yeah, I suppose we can start.
Yeah, I agree. Just one more question: Are we going to do it about this season, or are we going to talk about their entire career? That's maybe
Uh,
useful to.
Entire career and your like, we are gonna do everything. We are gonna count in everything. We are gonna count in all the seasons they had, and
Yeah, okay.
I don't think we should count F2 and shit like
No,
that.
no, no. Yeah, I agree. I
Just
agree.
an F1 career. So yeah, and we are also gonna count personality because that's fun.
Okay,
So
so yeah, let's begin. If you just start with like saying your preference, and then I can react to it. So
yeah, so Alex Albon. Uh, I think this is a very difficult choice because since he came back to Williams, he's been doing good, and in Toro Rosso, he was also doing good, but once he got to Red Bull, his career just well, almost flopped because he just didn't get a seat after 1.5 seasons. So I think he has talent, better than like Stroll, Tsunoda, and all these types of drivers, but yeah, I would put him around CB.
okay, I didn't see that one coming after what you said when he flopped with Red Bull. But well, let's see. I mean, in AlphaTauri, he actually was on par with Daniel Kvyat for the most of the time. I mean, not in terms of points, I think, but he was actually always pretty close. I mean, just look at the battle in Hungary between Albon and Kvyat, and then he got promoted to Red Bull. And in 2019, he actually did pretty well. I mean, the overtake in the Senna S on either Charles Leclerc or Sebastian Vettel was insane.
That was Vettel, yeah.
I think he did the exact same as Max did on Lewis.
Yep.
So yeah, but like in 2020, he completely choked. But like in 2021, I believe Horner actually said that Alex Albon has been doing a lot of sim work and stuff like that, and that also helped them to win the title eventually. So I would like to also put some more respect on his name. And yeah, in Williams he's performing pretty well. So yeah, I'd say C. I'm not gonna put him D or F, but in my opinion he's a C thus far. Yeah.
Yep. I would agree with that, so yeah, C. Fernando!
Yeah, in my opinion, this is going to be pretty straightforward, but I'm very curious as to see what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, one of the best drivers of all time, in my opinion. So,
Yeah, I agree.
not much
I
to
agree.
say there, but of course, he won the title at a young age in 2005 and 6, so two-time world champion.
Against
I'm,
Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari, so that's
yeah,
a pretty lethal combination. And also he had a title scrap, I believe, with Sebastian Vettel in 2010 and 2012. No, sorry.
yeah,
Yeah, 2010 and 2012, and he was only 4 and 3 points off, even though having a much slower car. So in my opinion, he's a A plus.
yeah,
I don't know about you.
I would agree with that. But going back, he could have won the title in 2007 as well.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
2008 and 9, the Renault was just crap, so he couldn't really win there. But 2010 and 2012, he could have also won the title if he had a bit of a better car. Uh,
Yeah, I agree.
2013, he also came second, So he beat Weber with the dog of a Ferrari once again. In 2011 he came 4th, and then 2014 of course with that disastrous F14T.
But yeah, to be fair, in 2014 he only came like 5 points, I thought, behind Sebastian Vettel, who
I
was
think
in a
he was
much
ahead.
better car. So
I think he was ahead of Vettel actually.
yeah, I thought behind, but all the same anyway. I mean, Vettel was in a much better car in 2014, and he almost beat Vettel again that season. And
Yeah,
I mean,
then from 2015 onwards that was just pain.
yeah, in my opinion, Alonso is a deserved A plus.
Yep.
In my opinion, the top 5 drivers of actually all time.
Yep. The Bottas. You start.
Okay, I start. Well, Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, in Williams he was pretty alright. I mean, he was beating Massa pretty easily. He had a couple of podiums, and he got his first win in the 4th race, I think, of 2017 in Russia.
Yep.
A lot of his race wins. Well, I think 2 race wins are actually sacrificed of his by Mercedes.
Yep.
2018 Russia and another race. But I think overall Valtteri Bottas is an B. And that comes down to, well, if you look at the 2020 season, for example, Max and Bottas had both the same amount of wins, the same amount of P2s, and the same amount of P3s. The only reason why Bottas was ahead of Max is that each time Bottas performed poorly or got low points, stuff like that, he finished the race. But Max was, for example, taken out of the Grand Prix in Tuscany. Well, he had the puncture in Imola, stuff like that. So he had the best car ever created, just the best ever race car ever created, and someone with a car who was maybe 5, 6, 10 slower was still able to finish within 10 points of his is abysmal in my opinion. He's an amazing qualifier, but in race he just falls away every single time, and that's why I can't put him higher than a B. But yeah, what's your opinion on it?
I would agree with that. B.
Okay.
Yeah, you said basically everything I wanted to say, so let's move on to Gasly then.
Do you start or I suppose?
I will start. Well,
Yeah.
Gasly. When he came into Formula 1, in 2017 he didn't do much. In 2018 he started off the season very well with a 4th place in Bahrain, but the Toro Rosso just fell off after that, so that wasn't the best of seasons. So he got promoted to Red Bull, and he flopped just like Albon. So got demoted, but as soon as he got demoted, he started to perform again. So I feel like in Toro Rosso he's home in AlphaTauri / Toro Rosso. The 2020 season was really good from him. In 2021 he further improved, I would say. Then in 2022 so far he's
well, performing pretty mediocre.
staggering, I would say. He's just, yeah. But still a young driver with great amounts of talent, so I would say B.
Yeah, I'm also going to say B. But if you look at the beginning of this season, Yuki Tsunoda really upped his game. I mean, in terms of qualification, in terms of race pace, if we just ignore what happened in Canada, we might as well just do Yuki Tsunoda after Pierre Gasly, because I'm also going to compare him a bit with Yuki. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda started to perform better, and maybe it's just because of the car or something like that. And Pierre Gasly just had a lot of bad luck or just awful race pace or something like that. So yeah, he really he doesn't deserve to be higher than B in my opinion currently, but he has so much talent, Pierre Gasly, that I think that B is that he's going to get higher than B in the future.
Yep. Tsunoda, I would say C, to be honest. He's not on Pierre's level at this stage. I would say he's around Albon though, so I think a C would be more fitting than B.
Yeah, I think if you are talking about the entire career,
Yep.
currently I'm going for D. In terms of talent, he has the potential to be B, but in my opinion, he's D, and that's because, I mean, if you just look at how many mistakes Yuki Tsunoda has made in the 2021 season, of course he was a rookie. Don't get me wrong, and rookies are allowed to make mistakes. But if you look at how much mistakes he was making and how far he was off the pace in 2021 compared to Pierre Gasly in qualification, it was like, I believe, on average, something like 5, 4 tenths, something like that. Being out-qualified in Q1 several times, barely getting any points, just completely being dominated by Pierre Gasly. I think overall his entire career is just is a D. I think,
Yeah.
he has the potential to get up higher as well.
And his outrageous radio messages and everything, so like, yeah, no, D. Lewis! Quite controversial for most people, but if we are going for driver, only A+, easily. But if we take into account his personality and everything, he's just...
Yeah, but we're talking about his career, so his personality, we're just going to ignore that. I mean, I'm a Verstappen fan, so obviously I don't like Hamilton too much. Sorry, guys. But yeah, he's an A+. I mean, he's a 7-time world champion, 103 wins, 103 poles. I believe somewhere in the 60 or 50 fastest laps of the race. I mean, he has completely dominated several seasons. He's only been beaten by Jenson Button, I believe, in 2011, by Nico Rosberg in 2016. Those were in Eco Machinery. And then Max Verstappen, and according to Toto Wolff, in Worse Machinery. And that's really the only thing. I mean, Lewis Hamilton is just an extraordinary driver. And even on his age, I believe he's 37 currently, maybe even 38. It's just incredible how he can keep performing like this. I mean, in the beginning of the season, he got beaten by George Russell. Maybe because of his setup, maybe because the car didn't do what he wanted. Doesn't really matter, you got beaten. But he's just coming back so good, you know. And yeah, he really deserves the A+. I think that's fair.
Yep. Go Tiffy. Ah, fucking F.
Yeah, I doubt if this one needs any explanation, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't think it needs an explanation, but yeah.
Okay, let's go to Charles Leclerc then.
Charles, my current favorite driver. I have been following him since 2016-17, so I think he's on Max's level now. So I would say a definite championship contender for 2022. In the 2021 season, he had rotten luck, so that's why he got beaten by Sainz. In 2020, of course, he absolutely smashed Sebastian Vettel.
2019 came into the team, beat Vettel as well.
Yep, 2018, well, he had fucking Marcus Ericsson as a teammate. I mean, that was not hard to beat.
Okay, yeah. So what you're saying, he's an A currently, or?
I would say he's A+.
Yeah, but A+ is like several world champion times. I mean, if you look at his entire career, I mean, yes, he got unlucky in 2021, but he made a lot of mistakes. The same as 2019, 2020. He had a lot of collisions with other drivers. He had a lot of DNFs which were avoidable. I mean, Russia 2021, easy win on, easy P2 on the board, and he just stayed out, just the same as Lando Norris, and just threw away easy podium while Sainz was able to get on the podium. So, I mean, yes, he was unlucky, but he in the past was really, really wild in terms of what he did. I mean, the same for Max. I think that deserves to be said as well. But I cannot put him higher than an A, personally. But I think he is an amazing driver, Charles Leclerc. Um, but yeah, as well as this season, I mean, just look at Imola, for example. Um, the nerves or the pressure or whatever got to him. He made a mistake in the chicane and spun to the wall. I mean, he was lucky his suspension didn't break off. I mean, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
So currently, he's incredibly fast in qualification. He's pretty alright in the race. I mean, he's a good overtaker, very aggressive. Reminds me of Max as well. But just the pressure, stuff like that, he needs to work on, and knowing when and how to be aggressive sometimes as well, which Max had in his early career as well. So, yeah, I think A is good. I would say, yeah.
Okay, I can agree on that. Kevin. So,
You want me to start or?
I'll start.
Yeah, okay, all right. No, I thought I'll just ask.
Kevin. So, well, his 2014 season was, I would say, pretty average. He got a P2 in his first race, to be fair. Then, of course, in 2015 he got, well, in 2014 he got beaten by Button, and then in 2015 he dropped out of the drive from McLaren. So, yeah. In 2016 he joined Renault and beat Julian Palmer's ass, but
Palmer wasn't anything special, so
yeah. In 2017 he joined Haas, of course. Beat Grosjean's ass every season he was there. But I mean, Haas was a very mediocre team throughout 2017 till 2020. Well, in 2021 as well. But in 2022 he got the option to come back, and he accepted it, to be fair. And he's been really good this season. Definitely beating Mick. I would say BC.
okay. So yeah, Kevin Magnussen. I haven't really paid attention when I was younger to his early career, so like 2014, 2015. 2016 I did, because I started to notice him more. The crash, for example, at Orus Raniol, pretty heavy one. But yeah, he beat Julian Palmer, but Julian Palmer wasn't anything special. Now coming to Haas, I mean, yeah, it was definitely a step up from Esteban Gutierrez, but I mean, if you look at how toxic the relationship was between Magnussen and Grosjean, I mean, in 2019, for example, at Hockenheim, they just keep bashing into each other. I believe also at the British Grand Prix, stuff like that. And I think in general that Kevin Magnussen was just very aggressive. For example, also still now, a lot of avoidable mistakes. I mean, Spain, for example, when he drove it to Lewis's side, and Miami when he was having a kerfuffle with Stroll. So I'd say that C is the right spot for him. I mean, he has a lot of pace on qualification day, which is very good, but most of the time he makes a mistake himself and just messes up and loses a lot of positions and points, and that's a shame.
Yeah, I will agree with that. Now moving on to Lando and B.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I don't think too much needs to be said. He has a lot of talent and he's young, so there's definitely room to improve. I definitely see him as a future world champion, but not at the moment, especially with McLaren.
Like, one of the only things bad I have to say about Lando Norris is that he tossed away the win in Russia. But other than that, I mean, so many podiums. He's a team player. He's demolished Daniel Ricciardo in the last two seasons. This one and the last season. I mean, he was keeping up with Sainz in McLaren, and in McLaren, Sainz was really, really strong. Yeah, B definitely is good for him, yeah.
Ocon. Uh, D. I'm not very
Oh!
impressed by Ocon, to be honest.
Yeah, but below Yuki?
Not below
Below-
Yuki, but he's not as fast as Magnussen or Albon, to be honest. They are just in a worse car.
Okay, so Ocon came into Formula 1 in 2016. He beat Pascal Wehrlein. In my opinion, he was way better than him. I mean, he made some mistakes. Brazil 2018, in my opinion, was his mistake. Stuff like that, you know. But I'd say that he is a C, but below Kevin Magnussen. I think a D is just too harsh. I mean, he's still getting beaten by Fernando Alonso, and Fernando is like 40 years old by now.
Yeah.
Most normal drivers would just hit a cliff and just lose a lot of pace, but it's either Alonso magic or just that Ocon isn't that fast. He's still outscoring him though this season, but I think that's too easy because Alonso had a lot of bad luck, which is also due to mechanical reliabilities. So it's kind of hard to compare Alonso and Ocon. But yeah, I think a C for Ocon's entire career is pretty solid. I mean, he's still a race winner, so maybe I put Ocon ahead of Alex Albon at this point. I think that's fair. I
Yeah.
think that's fair. Okay.
Moving on to Checo. A.
Ooh. Okay, yeah.
I would say because, of course, in his early career, he wasn't that great, to be honest. But of course, he had that McLaren season in which he was. I would say he beat Bet finally, Button. In 2014, he beat. I think he bet Hülkenberg. In 2015 as well, 2016 as well. In 2017 and 18, I would say he beat Ocon. 2019 and 2020, he easily beat Stroll. Then once he joined Red Bull, of course, in 2020 he got his first win. So from that great last to first victory. Then in 2021 he had his first victory with Red Bull in Azerbaijan. Had a pretty good season. If he hadn't had a few bad luck moments, then he would have been P3 in the championship. Definitely was better than Bottas. And in 2022 he's actually a contender for the title, so I think A is pretty fair.
Okay, we're going to disagree on this one as well. I find it very difficult to justify putting him on the same level as Charles Leclerc. I mean, Charles always had the pace, you know. I mean, he beat Vettel 2019, like we said, 2020. Even though he had some mistakes, so we can justify giving him an A+. He is one of the best drivers on the grid, and everyone knew that. So putting Sergio Perez with Charles Leclerc is pretty double. I mean, also if you look at this season,
I did say A+, you said A.
yeah, you said A+, but I find it hard to justify Charles Leclerc with Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time world champion, and Fernando Alonso, 2-time world champion, while Leclerc has only won 5 races. Granted, he didn't have the car, but still. But anyway, back to what I wanted to say. I want to put Sergio Perez a B, and that's personally because of the 2021 season. Of course, he really helped Max during the title fight, but I mean, most of the time he was like 4 or 5 tenths of qualifying behind. He was getting absolutely destroyed in terms of points, in terms of the race distance, stuff like that. And added to that, he was clearly the second driver. I mean, he does better in 2022, but that was mainly because Max had more DNFs because of Checo, and that's why Checo could stay with Max for a long time. I mean, after the Australian Grand Prix, Max had 2 DNFs, and Checo had 1. And Checo was just in front of Max, so Max had to overtake Checo again, and then he had to pull a gap. And then everyone said, yeah, Checo's within 80 points, but Max just overtook Checo because of the DNFs, if you know what I mean. So, yes, he beat Hulkenberg, but Hulkenberg doesn't have the amazing track record as we all want. I mean, everyone just wants to give Hulkenberg a podium. But yeah, the fact that he never really got a podium, even though he had several chances to get one, just really says something. And not to mention that in 2017 and 2018, he really had a toxic and bad relationship with Esteban Ocon. I believe it was the 2017 Baku Grand Prix where they collided, the 2017 Singapore Grand Prix, and the 2018 Belgian Grand Prix where they collided 3 times. And with your own teammate, that isn't good. So, yeah, I think overall in his entire career, I'd give him a B. Yeah, I think that's right.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't have to agree with me, by the way, so...
I would stay say A and would put Charles in A+.
Okay, yeah.
So, saying that Shaw doesn't have the same amount of talent as Fernando or Lewis is just wrong, to be honest, in my opinion.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying we're looking in the entire career, and Charles have just made so many mistakes, especially early on in his career. And he still isn't that far in his career. I mean, Lewis has done that as well in his McLaren days, but still, it's just I find it hard to justify putting Leclerc with Lewis Hamilton. Just the same as I find it hard to justify that Sebastian Vettel is an A+ or Verstappen is an A+. I don't think they both these two guys are, but I'll just explain later why. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just think career-wise, Fernando Alonso and Lewis Hamilton are the best 2 drivers in the last, yeah, let's just say 15 years. So like since Max Schumacher stopped. But like I said, you don't have to agree with me. So if you'd rather just keep that like that, so just...
I would like to keep it like that, but to be honest, I don't think Charles made that many mistakes.
I mean, he took out Stroll in Russia. He took out Sergio Perez in Sakir. He took out Sebastian Vettel in Brazil.
That wasn't his mistake.
Well, I mean, he could have just lent space. I mean, the car ahead is able to squeeze, and as the car behind you have to go with. It's as simple as that. Still,
I think Seb just swerved into his way a little bit, and they just collided. So,
but those are just 3 incidents on the top of my head. But yeah, I mean, still agree to disagree then. It doesn't really matter. We don't have to agree on everything. Right?
Okay, well, let's move on to Ricardo.
Yeah, okay, that's alright.
Fucking F. Currently. But if we take a look at his whole career, I would say B.
Yeah, B as well, yeah.
I don't think...
fell away
I don't think a lot of explanation needed there.
Yeah.
George! Very talented young dude. B. As of right now, B.
A.
A?
Yeah. I mean, the podium in Belgium, in the Williams, in the rain. I mean, he could have gotten pole position if Max wasn't as good in the rain as he was. So he could have actually won that race in the Williams. I mean, who can say that they won a race in the Williams in the last, what 9 years, give or take, since Pastor Maldonado won the race? So, I mean, yeah, George Russell deserves a B, in my opinion. I think that's fair. I mean, he's also beating Lewis Hamilton in 2022.
Yeah.
Currently. He has 3 podiums, even though Mercedes wasn't as good as it was in previous years. So far, he has beaten almost all of his teammates except for Robert Kubica, who got 1 point in the Hockenheim ring in very lucky conditions.
That was just bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah. Kubica got really, really lucky, but George Russell, in my opinion, deserves to be. If Sergio Perez deserves one, I think George Russell deserves one as well.
Yeah. Carlos, B.
Ooh, difficult. Mm. Carlos Sainz was very close to Verstappen, not in terms of points, but like in terms of the speed, qualification, stuff like that. In 2015, he easily beat Kvyat in 16, 17. Then in 2018, I think he went to McLaren. No, he didn't. Fernando was still driving. No, he went to Renault, and
Yeah.
then Renault.
Yeah, that didn't turn out very
He got
well.
beaten by Nico Hulkenberg. That was it.
Yeah.
Then in 2019, he went to McLaren. 2020, he went to McLaren. And both of those years were extremely amazing. In my opinion, I mean, he was the best of the rest, I believe, once. And it got McLaren back at the top of the midfield, which it struggled to do with Fernando Alonso. So, and Ferrari 2021. I mean, yeah, he got lucky against Charles Leclerc, but it's still you have to be the consistency. You know, I don't think he actually finished once outside of the points in that entire season. And then 2022, yeah, a lot of mistakes, a lot of the time in the gravel. So I'm really, yeah, I'm a bit between A and B.
I
I'd
would say
say
B.
B. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
say B.
Mick, as of right now, like a D or C.
D,
C.
personally. Oh.
I don't think he deserves a B yet, to be honest. He made a lot of mistakes, didn't have really a good teammate to go against in 2021.
Yeah, but
Definitely not as good as Albon or Ocon yet. Of course, he's
also,
young and has talent, but he only started performing in the last few races, to be honest. So
I actually personally put him in D. I mean, 2021 he really had no benchmark. Mazepin is just terrible. But he in the first several races he really got his ass handed by Kevin Magnussen, who hasn't driven a Formula One car in over a year. In the last 2-3 races he started to perform, but I don't think that's enough to justify to put him in the same leagues Kevin as Ocon and as Albon. And ahead of Tsunoda. So I think that I put Schumacher with Tsunoda in D. Personally.
I think he's better than Tsunoda.
Yeah, he's better, but I don't think he's out of his league, if you know what I mean.
Stroll,
D, personally.
I just think because he's had a longer career, a C.
Yeah, okay. I mean, he got the front row in 2017 Monza, and then the podium in 2017 Baku. Pole position actually in the what uh,
Turkey.
2020 Turkey, I think. And
3 podiums in 2020 as well.
yeah, Imola, he had Monza, he had a podium with Pierre Gasly in 2020.
Yep.
So
Could
yeah,
have
I
won
think
that race, to be honest.
yeah, you're right. I think C is perfect.
Better than Albon,
Yeah, I think
but
that's
not better than Ocon and Magnussen.
yeah, I agree.
Mr. Nico Hülkenberg.
B.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
C.
yeah, high C. Okay, high C. Yeah.
Not as good as Magnussen, in my opinion.
I disagree, but I don't think it's a big margin. I think Hulkenberg was always a lot cleaner than Magnussen.
Yeah, we can. Yeah. Max A plus. I don't think a lot needs to be said.
Yeah, 26 times race winner, one-time champion, beating Lewis Hamilton in 2021 with 2 DNFs more in an inferior car, according to Total Wolff. Yeah, A plus. If you put
Seb.
A plus.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to justify putting Charles in there, but not Sepp. I mean, Sepp is a 4-time world champion, 53 race wins. I don't know how many pole positions. He was an absolute beast in Red Bull, but I think he's a bit overrated in Red Bull, personally. And that's because, I mean, every single year he got the best car on the grid. 9 times winning in a row is amazing, but Mark Webber wasn't anything special, so he wouldn't have any competition from his own team. A bit the same as what Lewis Hamilton has had from 2017 to 2020. No competition from his own team, no competition for someone in a good car. So yeah, I think that's fair. And he got beaten by Daniel Ricciardo in 2014. He got beaten by Charles Leclerc in 2020. So yeah, I think
Yeah.
he's slightly overrated, but he's still A+.
Zhu, C or D. He's been very unlucky this season, to be fair.
Yeah, I agree.
He has had some great performances, to be honest. Of course, getting points in his first race, that's always nice.
Yeah, okay, but he still has the same car as Valtteri Bottas. So Valtteri Bottas, on average, has been able to get most of the time some points, while Guan Yu Xiao has been driving. Has been driving around 13, 14. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No problem.
Has been driving around P13, P14, somewhere like that, a couple of times. So I think for now D, but he has a lot of potential.
Yeah. So, guys, that is our tier list and our opinions on the drivers. Let us know in the comments what you think. It actually became a really long video, so
Oh yeah, but it was to be expected.
yeah, I had a lot of fun. To be
Yeah, I
honest.
enjoyed it as well, mate.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me. And,
yeah, you'll find Collin's channel in the description and in the comments, and maybe I can put a little promo video in here. So
yeah, maybe. Anyway,
so yeah, thank you for watching, guys. I've been Danny. He's been Collin. We might be making quite a few videos in the future together. So
yeah, we might be. Yeah, I'm up for that. But let's discuss that another time. And,
yep.
yeah, see you guys.
Thanks for watching, and bye bye. Oh, and also don't forget to like and subscribe. Very, very important. Bye bye.
Yeah.